Hey YouTube, what's up? It's Big Bad Boo Daddy here. I'm about to kick off the Raw 1000 episode, so I decided to do this video now because I'll probably be too drunk when it's over. So, what this video is about is I'm going to give a brief update on the Maverick Challenge, which you guys have did better. Giving you an applause for that. Very good job. You guys haven't been as dickish as you had been. Still get one and a few of them comes up and everything. So all in all, I'm going to keep the challenge. The challenge is going to stay. And I'm also going to incorporate something else. I mentioned how if you pay 5, you can up for a prize. Well, seeing how I got one person to pay for it, I figured, okay, I'm going to try to entice you more. So instead of a $5 fee, if you want to pay $10, I'll do this. You can pick whichever first 8 Mavericks of any of the game you want to face, and I'll let you pick your game. Also, the prize that you get if you win and beat every one of them, clear the game, will be flat. It won't matter if you're playing advanced or if you're playing traditional. It'll be a same prize pool. Okay. When it comes to the Mavericks themselves, you will have the option of playing through them normally like you would the game, step by step by step, or you can dice roll for them, which it'll be one 6-sided die as opposed to 2 because there's only going to be 4 choices after your. Actually, no. Yeah, I think I got it right. 3 or 4. Either 3 or 4 picks after you beat the 8, if you manage to do that. Now on to the real thing about this video is ban list. I've been asked by quite a number of you guys to make my predictions, what I'd like to see, what I'd like to not see, and whatever, and what I could expect or anticipate. Okay, well, first I want to say off before we get into that is this year's been fucking crazy when it comes to Yu-Gi-Oh! I mean, we've seen stuff that's happened that we never anticipated happening before, which that's not exactly not normal, but I mean, we've been in the reign of fire of the dragons, which they've been taking over and everything. Uh, our Nats champion was a wind-up winner, which everyone said that the deck was pretty much done after people realized, hey, I stopped your loop, I win. Which isn't exactly the case for a lot of those duels. But anyway, we're going to get away from that. I'm going to just go ahead and start with the ban list right now. For my ban cards, and I'll explain in a little bit of detail for each of them too, so you guys are all just like, why the fuck did he say that card? It's fucking crazy. Stupid. Banned. I have Eclipse Wyvern. Why? Because not just Chaos Dragons. I've actually seen it teched in Heretics, whatever the fuck you guys want to call it. It's actually being teched in that now, and it's actually being good. Like, it's actually functioning, it's thinning out the deck, getting them where they need to go, wombo combo their ass off eventually. So I see it being ban worthy, and it also slows the hell out of the Chaos Dragon deck, which you probably guys are gonna say that I'm kind of ban heavy and limit heavy on the Chaos Dragon deck, and I'm not gonna deny that. I am kind of heavy on that deck just because of the fact that so much stupidity out of that deck happened, and so many people at Nats got crushed by it, which were good players, but just because you outsack someone with, oh hey, I start with a Future Fusion, I explode off of turn 1 and kill you. I've seen that happen so many times, and not just at Nats, I've seen it at locals, I've seen it at regionals. I just think that thing needs to go. Because, like I said, deck is too damn fast when you have it. Second card that I think needs to be banned, Wind Up Hunter. Obvious reasons. Hand Loop is retarded, and I think it needs to go. The deck actually can function without it, too. We've seen this before plenty of times. Third banned card, Monster Reborn. Why would old Boo Daddy want to see Reborn gone? Because I've seen so many games, which also one of the cards I'm limiting, by the way, is going to play an effect of this. So many games lost because I top deck Monster Reborn. I win. So many games have been lost because of a Monster Reborn. Not because of the fact of you outplayed your opponent or whatever. It's just I Monster Reborn. I get back a really boss ass creature, and I wreck your face. So I think Reborn needs to go. It's been in circulation for a long time now, and I just think it needs its rest. It needs to rest a bit. Other banned card, Heavy Storm. Why do I think Heavy Storm needs banned? Because there's so much back row hate in the game that people are so worried about playing back rows and everything else. Which, by the way, I'm just telling you right now, I limited Giant Trunade because I just like to see it come back for, whatever purpose it needs it. Because you trade one for the other. And that's basically what Takahashi has done with his little argument case, whatever, against Konami. So he actually, has fought for us and everything, and we're getting one ban card per year. That's why we got BLS off, that's why other cards have come off, everything else. Which brings me to my last ban card, which would be Blackluster Soldier Envoy at the beginning, because of the fact that it's had its full year rotation. It probably will go back on the list, and we're going to get a card off of the ban list, which will probably take its place as far as broken shit. On to my limited. First up, the card that we're getting in place of BLS, Dark Magician of Chaos. It got a massive reprint in the Battle Pack, and I think Konami would love for it to actually be used outside of Battle Pack sealed events. Not saying that's bad or good either. It's just kind of meh. Because we're at a stage in the game where you do not want to tribute monsters unless you're playing Monarchs, which those are going to get stupid enough because of Illusion Snatch. If you ban Reborn and bring back Demock, it doesn't get as stupid as it could be. Because you can't just bring Demock back, bring back your Reborn, and then just, loop to loop until your opponent's raged out of their mind. So I could see Demock coming back because I honestly don't see everyone tacking it in every single deck like they were doing BLS. It's not that splashable. Second limited card that is also off the ban list, Mind Master. Why do I say limit Mind Master? Because Trish is banned. The Psychic FTK is no longer valid. There's no way you can just Trish, die. You have to actually play around and do shit with it, and Psychics have been irrelevant in the tournament scene. We've not seen any of them top whatsoever, and no deck has actually been using Psychic cards since pretty much Teledad format. And I'm also throwing that out there for a bone to Gusto, because Gusto's about to take off over here. So throwing them a bone. I'm also throwing them a bone another way in a minute. Then anyway too. Another limited card, Spore. Plants. You get your 1-star tuner back. You're not getting Bulb back. And synchros are kind of done in the game. They're just gone. Everyone's Exceed crazy and, going batshit over it and everything else. Because that's what Konami wants you to do. It's creepy. It's conspiracy. Oh my god. On to, Trunade was the next one. And on to my final limited card from the banned section. Royal Oppression. Oppression has needed to come off the list to be at one for the longest time, in my opinion, because it makes so much fluidity, if that's even a word. I don't know. I'm not an English major. To the game, because it slows so many decks down to where they can't explode off the word go. And I think the game needs that. It needs more to slow the fuck down and just be cool. And that's my thing on Oppression. On to my other limited cards. Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon and Light Pulsar Dragon. This is the last of the hate for Chaos Dragons, because, if you excuse me one sec, guys, I gotta get my TV and everything set up for Raw 1000 before my buds get here and we drink some sodas and yeah. I know that rhymed. I wasn't trying to be cool or anything or funny, but it just happened. Anyway, those two. Light Pulsar makes shit go crazy, just like Eclipse Wyvern did. And obviously so does Red Eyes Darkness Metal. If you limit metal, you basically, by doing all of this, if Konami does it, which they just damn well might, you take the venom out of a Cobra. Take the venom out of a Cobra, you're basically left with a leather belt. The deck can still do some damage, but in no way, shape, or form is it as intimidating and threatening as it was before. With that being said, I think that would be enough to hurt the deck enough. And you'd still have Red Eyes Darkness Metal for Heretics to abuse, with Gustav coming out real fucking soon for everyone too. Another card, Evil Tsar Logia. Does the same shit as Shein, basically. Granted, you have a little more of a cost with Shein. Well, a little more cost with Logia, because Logia, you're one and you're done. And I think that's also why it hasn't been hit on the ban list previously with that too. Because once you use its effect, it's kind of burned out. And they don't have any effective way of actually making the card have its materials back. We're getting Freezer Dawn in, I believe it was October. If I'm right. If I'm not right, whatever. That would make it more plausible to use. But same time, I think that. Alright, next limited card. Snow. And when I mean Snow, I mean of the Dark World. Because that card gets Dark World where they need to go. Why am I picking on Dark World on this? Is because I think the deck is one giant sack fest, and I think the deck needs a little bit of control to it. Because as soon as they discard Snows, add any of the Dark World cards to their hand, and then just do whatever they want. You can just sit there and take it, because you can't do anything, really. Unless you chain Macrocosmos or whatever, but if you did that, you know, good for you. My last limited card, Bubble Man. Why Bubble Man? Because Heroic Champion Excalibur makes heroes broke as shit. Because the Bubble Turbo deck is just going to keep wombo comboing, overlaying, do the Excalibur shit, and then proceed to pretty much kick your head in. So that's my thing on Bubble Man. Now my semi-limit cards, which is actually funny because I think some of them is towards one of my friends, because I throw him a bone on on this list too. Advanced Ritual Art, first one. Why Ritual Art? Because Ritual decks are non-existent as well. I think if Ritual Art was at 2, we might be able to see Ritual decks come back in a tournament sense. Will they? Yeah, I don't know. Will they have the same speed as all the other shit? No, they won't. But they'll still be able to actually perform better than what they have been. So they might be able to do something, might not. You never know. It's one of those wild card things. On to my good semi-limit things, which is pretty much for everyone. Rescue Rabbit and Insector Hornet. Oh, Dragonfly was on the limited thing. I think we all know why. Same with these two. Rabbit at 3 can explode and then just set up, and then you're looking at a very bad situation. Tour Guide also is at 2, because that's fair and balanced with them as well. Because you've got similar cards like Reborn Tengu and Malicious doing the same stuff, so why not hit Tour Guide? At 2, you can still go Tour Bust, you can still go, there's other fiends out there, we just don't want to really bother with them. TG Striker at 2. A throw to agents, a throw to stun decks, because the card at 1 seems a little unfair, especially since Trish is gone. Trish is gone, and you can still do Barkion and Beast, but at the same time, it's like, okay, you have those guys, congratulations for yourself. I just summon this big-ass creature and run the fuck right over him. Formula Synchron at 2, for the same thing. More Synchron support is coming over the horizon very soon, and more Synchron stuff needs to happen. And Formula at 2, I think, is going to be fine. I don't think there's going to be too much shenanigans happening with it. Because we still have, Pot of Avarice is at 1. It's not going to be the same shit that happened plant format. Mizuki at 2. Why do I have Mizuki at 2? Because I'm curious to see how zombies could function with Mizuki at 2, because we still have Foolish Burial at 1, Burial from a Different Dimension at 1, Plague still at 1, so I'm curious to see if anyone could come up with some cool zombie variants with that in mind. Gates of the Dark World at 2. Gates needs to go at 2, which is the first field spell ever really touched. Seal of Void Calculus might be another story when it comes out, but Gates needs to be touched because that's another one that just puts them where they need to go. And we have so many other cards where other times where cards that have an obscene amount of draw engine and can set up shit have been banned. Or not banned, but, well, rather touched on this list, one way or another. So I think it needs to get hit. Book of Moon needs to come back at 2, because Book of Moon has so much control to the game, and it also, with this, the way this list I'm setting up is being set, it would also make people think about deck building. It wouldn't just be the same staple cards over and over and over again, because Book is still such a good card, and it can stop you in your tracks, it can still set up stuff, and it's fluid. I like Book being at 2. And then this next card, I'm going to catch so much hell for saying this from one of my friends, and you know who you are. Kalute needs to go to 2. Why? Because Black Wings are irrelevant. They are completely dead, and I honestly think all decks need to have some sort of bullshit to them that makes them playable and good, which Kalute was what was winning Black Wings games, so give them another Kalute. Why not? There's so much other shit that can wreck them now anyway. Mirror Force at 2. This is one that one of my friends was curious about me saying. The reason why I say Mirror Force at 2, because a lot of people rush recklessly into their attack phase. They just rush their asses off and don't even think about, hey, you could have a Mirror Force down. And also, if you put it at 2, that's another thing for your tech choices. It's not going to be 2 Torrential, 2 Warning, Judgment, and then all the other stuff, you know, all the same shit that we've been seeing. I think Mirror Force at 2 would be an interesting concept. Because I don't expect everyone to be attacking 2 Mirror Force in every single deck. I would just be curious to see where it goes. Miracle Fusion at 2. Heroes are stupid, broken, and I think if they did this, put it at 2, it would actually touch the deck enough to where it might be able to be, you know, slowed down a bit. So I'm not banning Future Fusion, because Future Fusion was never intended for the broken ass shit that we've come up with it, so that's our fault why we're abusing the card. Not to mention, Escorado hasn't come out yet, although it's very, very close. Other decks could benefit off of it too. It's just, yeah. And then my last semi-limited card, Grapha. Because 3 Grapha I think is a bit excessive for Dark Worlds. 2 Grapha is enough. Because they can just keep spamming the shit out of him. Shadow Mirror doesn't hit him. I mean, it's just a broke-ass fucking card. So semi-limit Grapha and be done with Dark World, you could. Unlimited. This is another one that got my friends all like, what? And what he's thinking about. Bottomless Trap Hole at 3. Why? Because priority's gone for us. Well, for pretty much everyone. It stops a lot of stuff. And once again, tech choices. I don't think everyone's going to be teching 3 Bottomless Trap Hole, although I think majority might. Don't know though, because a lot of the stuff is under 15 that's coming out that's going to be pretty broke as shit too. We also have lances. We have the new Forbidden card coming out that makes your monsters indestructible for a turn. So I'm curious. I would like to see Bottomless go at 3 just to see how the game would change, and not to mention, for this season of Yu-Gi-Oh, when we go into September, is, in a sense, even though it doesn't feel like it, it's a lot shorter than when we go March to September. So, yeah, Bottomless at 3 is cool for me. Destiny Draw at 3. It needs to happen. A lot of people agree with me on this. It just needs to happen, because D Heroes haven't done shit. We haven't seen any ways with them or anything else, and the card just is fine at 3. It never really was a huge problem at 3. Well, I take that back, but you know what formats I'm talking about when it was at 3. But all of those cards have been limited, touch, and everything else, and we're fine. We're moving on. Card Trooper at 3. Card Trooper on a best bet is a +1. Not to mention, if you mill 3, congratulations, you milled 3. You also run the risk of milling really good shit that you have, but it can also get you where you need to go. So, it's all with that being said. Level limit area B, Swords of Revealing Light, they haven't done shit in the tournament scene. They haven't done shit, period, so they're fine at 3. I don't have a huge problem with that. Level limit, or, not level limit, I was going on with those. Royal Tribute at 3. Why do I put Royal Tribute at 3 is because GKs haven't done shit at all. Because the format's sped up too fast for them to keep up. And I think if you give them Tribute at 3, they might be able to pull something off. They might not. You never know. It still might be way too fast for them. We're not sure. I just know a lot of people were pissed when they were getting wrecked opening Royal Tribute when they were going up against GKs. But I've never really had a huge problem with them. My last unlimited card, and this is also the bone I mentioned earlier, Emergency Teleport. Why should E-Teleport be at 3? Because, like I said, Psychics haven't done anything relevant at all. Gustos are coming out. They need a little bit of extra oomph and what have you. Not to mention, Dad's still at 1. There's so much other stuff that can just, go with it. It's just not a huge issue with the E-Tele at 3. I'm pretty sure this video is going to catch a lot of shit from my friends and supporters, peers, whatever, from the Yu-Gi-Oh! Community guys and people that know me and talk to me and whatnot. Feel free to go ahead and let the floodgates open. Say whatever you want. How I'm dumb, smart, awesome, you agree, you disagree, whatever you want. America, well, for some of you, America. Freedom of speech. Say, do, whatever. It's all you. Go. Literally go. This is Big Boo Daddy signing off, so go.